The story opens at a bustling train station, where a group of guys chatter about Murata from the soccer team getting turned down by the Ice Queen. One of them snickers that this makes her 15th rejection. Another jokes that if even Murata couldn't melt her heart, the rest of them don't stand a snowball's chance in hell. One of the boys sneaks a glance at her and mutters that just being stared down by her would crush him. As they watch another brave soul approach her, someone whispers, "He's next." Inside the humid train, Minoru Sata stands lost in thought. He notes the next stop flashing by but doesn't mind the stifling heat because she boards here. The Ice Princess. Minoru spots a guy trying to talk to her first thing in the morning and sees her silently ignoring him. He's seen this before. Someone tries, she rejects, story ends. Still, he knows he'd never dare call out to her. She gives off that untouchable aura, like she lives in a different world altogether. As his gaze lingers, something catches his eye. An elderly woman steps onto the train, yet the boy nearby doesn't budge. Then the Ice Princess walks over, and without hesitation, he jumps up, expecting her to sit. But instead, she offers the seat to the old woman with a gentle smile. The woman thanks her, and Minoru thinks what a kind, clear voice completely contrasts her cool exterior. Another day, Minoru sees a baby crying as his mother tries to calm him. The moment the child notices her, she smiles, a soft, genuine smile. That brief moment pierces Minoru's heart. From then on, an urge stirs within him, the wish to talk to her. Yet he convinces himself it's better to admire her from afar until graduation, or so he believes. On another sweltering day, Minoru notices her expression shift. He soon realizes that a guy nearby is bothering her. The train is packed, yet he feels the weight of her unease. Remembering her smile, a thought strikes him. What if I never see that smile again? Anger boils. Without thinking, he shouts, "There's a pervert here!" The man panics and bolts from the train. Later, in class, Minoru's friend, Makasaka Aji, leans over and asks if he's heard about the morning's incident on the train, and whether he knows anything about it. Minoru plays dumb, but Aji smirks, teasing that it happened on the train his girlfriend rides. Flustered, Minoru quickly denies it, saying that just because he likes her doesn't make her his girlfriend. Aji laughs, saying no one in their right mind would try anything with the Ice Princess. Hearing that nickname, Minoru reflects on how every guy who's confessed to her has been shut down. Rumors about her frostiness have spread to other schools, but he knows she's not as cold as people think. Aji says if he ever saw something happen to her, he'd step in too, and tells Minoru that if she ever looks at him in a certain way, he shouldn't hesitate. It might be the start of something big. Then, with a grin, he adds that youth isn't only about dating, though Minoru just sighs at his theatrics. Aji then changes the topic, teasing that Minoru watches her every morning. Embarrassed, Minoru brushes it off, saying he's fine with simply admiring her. Aji shrugs and invites him to karaoke, which Minoru agrees to half-heartedly. On his way home, Minoru muses that tomorrow will probably be back to normal. But the next morning, things take a surprising turn. He's lost in thought when a cheerful "good morning" rings out, the voice unmistakably hers. Turning, he realizes she's sitting right beside him. Caught off guard, he can barely meet her eyes. She thanks him for helping her yesterday, her tone warm and sincere. She admits she'd been terrified, that while everyone else simply stared, no one helped. As she smiles softly, Minoru feels his chest tighten. Protecting that smile suddenly feels like an honor. She then tells him her calm, formal demeanor is just habit. She introduces herself as a first-year student, likely the same age as him. He stammers a thank you, realizing he can hardly talk naturally around her. Amused, she asks if he always speaks so stiffly. When he tells her he's also a first year, she seems relieved. For the first time, he feels like school might be worth attending. Then, her expression turns troubled. She asks for a favor, to sit beside him on the train from now on. She confides that she's been uneasy ever since the incident, and that the constant stares from boys at school make her anxious. Surprised, he asks if she's actually afraid of boys. She nods, explaining that it's hard for her to trust anyone after what happened. He hesitates, advising her to be cautious, to think twice before trusting someone she barely knows. Maybe she should talk to a classmate or a teacher instead. But her downcast eyes and quiet words stop him. "There's no one else I can ask," she whispers. Her vulnerability stirs something in him. Placing her hand lightly on his, she says she believes in him, that she's willing to take a chance. She admits she's always longed for a brighter, more normal life, but her fear has held her back. She says she wants to change, and she feels he's someone she can trust. Moved, Minoru can't find it in himself to refuse. He's seen her kindness. He doesn't want her to lose that hope. Finally, he agrees. She beams, thanking him, and introduces herself as Shinonome Nagi. She mentions she's adopted and identifies as Japanese despite her mixed features. Minoru thinks her name fits her perfectly, then introduces himself in return. Delighted, she shakes his hand, saying she'll count on him from now on. From that day forward, Minoru's everyday life begins begins to shift. As he stands on the train,